Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the barn out here at St. Bernard Acres. This is Friday the 21st of July. The primary purpose for being here this afternoon, I snuck out after Gail got home, is I want to inspect the underside of the bridge. I put this up last year. I'm bringing the tractor out tomorrow morning. Yippee. So excited about that. And one of the things I want to do, Gary's going to bring it out because he's got the trailer. I want to look underneath, make sure that I've got everything. I want 2 bolts in every beam, things like that. I've only been running the lawnmower across it, so hasn't been holding too much weight. And I mean, it's solid as it can be. But I just want to double check it. I thought I was going to have to weed eat a bunch. But fortunately, I'm not going to have to do that to get underneath and see where it is. What I've got, well, I'll show you once I get underneath there. But I got 6x6 posts. I've got 6 of those. And I've got 2x10 beams running the length of them. 1 on each side. And then the boards going across it. The deck. And those 2x10s that are the beams basically, I want to make sure I've got 2 bolts going all the way through them. That way there can't be any movement in it. I'm thinking I only got 1 because I just never got around to doing the other one. But with a 2,000-pound tractor, I better double check it and make sure. And Gary will be out here tomorrow with my little generator. So we'll be able to just drill some holes, throw some bolts through it, and that should take care of it. And then we're going to take these rails off, and I'm going to set them aside. I'm not going to put them back up. I'm going to put extensions on the side of the bridge. These are just decorative, but I'm not going to put them back up until I get the house built, because all of the pieces to the house are inside the barn. When we have our get-together to build the house, I got to bring all that stuff out. I think these rails just be in the way. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run around and check the water. We had a good storm last night. So it really cleared out a lot of humidity. It's not nearly as humid as usual. So I'm glad to hear that. But I want to go look at the water, see how much water I've got now. I was right around, I figured around 90 gallons in each tote. So we'll see what it's up to now. And let me tell you a story about being prepared in your vehicle and not something to think about you might want. In my truck, I have tools. I have air compressor, one of those 12-volt things you plug in the cigarette lighter, fill up your tires, all that kind of stuff. Well, today I was bringing Gail's Explorer out just because it's more comfortable to ride. And I'm coming out 77, and all of a sudden it flashes low tire pressure. I'm like, oh shit, I got a tire going down, So I get it up to the next exit, didn't go flat, and I kept, feeling for it, and, hers doesn't tell you, a lot of them tell you the pressure of each tire. Well, that Explorer just simply says low tire pressure. It doesn't tell you which tire, doesn't tell you anything. So I got to the exit and got to a Sunoco gas station. Sure enough, the right front tire was low. I could see it. I didn't even have to use my tire gap. Of course, there isn't one in the Explorer. I got one in the truck, So I went over, they had an air thing. Well, another thing I have in my truck that's not in the Explorer is a bunch of change. Right? I needed $1.25 to get air. I have no cash on me. I have to use my card at an ATM. So I stick my card in there. It costs $2.75 to use the ATM. The ATM's charges. It costs $2.25 for me to use a card outside of the Chase network. So there's $5 I paid just to get 20 bucks out so that I could get change to use the air pump. The air pump was $1.25. So to get there was 28 pounds of pressure in that tire. To get it up to 36, 8 pounds of pressure, 8 pounds of air, was $6.25 is what it cost me. It's ridiculous. But, you know, keep some change in your car. Keep those little 12-volt air pumps they don't take up a lot of space. Obviously, it's worth having one. Now, if the tire had been flat, I'd call AAA. They'd come out and change it because, I mean, we have a spare and everything. But I pay for AAA, so I'm calling them to come and change my tire for me so I don't have to get out and do it. I could if the situation required it, but if I don't have to do it, I don't want to do it. But yeah, so, I mean, I was only 20 miles from home, 15 miles from home. So, I filled the tire up. I took it back home to leave it set, see if it goes down. If it's got a leak in it, then I'll take it up to the gas station and fix it where I work at. If not, then an abundance of caution. I didn't want to continue driving out here if it had a leak and it go down again. So I drove it home. The light didn't come back on going home. Maybe it was low and it was on the brink anyway and it popped up. I don't know. But we'll see tomorrow. So I went home, got my truck. I said, you know what? I got everything in my truck in case something happens. I don't have to worry about it. So let that be a lesson to you. Keep some change in your truck. Get a small air pump for when that light comes on and you freak out because it says low tire pressure. You can get out and check it. You can add air to it off on the side of the road. Think about that. Now, I'll take you down and show you the water tanks. We'll see how much more water I got now. All right, let's take a walk on this fine looking day. It's a little cloudy, but it's so much better without all the humidity. So then tomorrow it's supposed to be cooler. Gary and I are meeting for breakfast at 8 o'clock. We're going to Lashley's at 9 o'clock to pick up the tractor. It's probably going to be some kind of orientation or something. They're going to show you things. Then we'll head out here with it and get it unloaded, work on the bridge, and play on the tractor. I got to mow, and I've decided to keep the Husqvarna out here, and I'm going to do the regular mowing on the Husqvarna because the tractor is guaranteed. Well, it doesn't look like we got a lot of rain. The tractor is guaranteed for 6 years or 2,000 hours. So if I'm just mowing the lawn, why do I want to use the hours up? So I'll keep the Husqvarna for that. Oh, okay. Oh, we got some. Nice. If you look there, that gauge shows it at 137 gallons. All right. So we got plenty. Look at that. Wow. Let's see. Let's do the quick math here. 4 times 130. By golly, that would be 520 gallons of water. I'm damn near halfway there. Well, I'm halfway full on water. Let's see if I got any pressure. Oh, yeah. That's plenty. That's plenty. I'll be damned. All right, no leaks. No runs, no drips, no errors. Now I gotta really get my overflow together and put all the tops on and screen all the bung holes. One of the first things I'm going to do with my tractor is come back here, since I'm not using this garden this year. I'm going to dig a small pit. And I'm going to burn brush back here and burn old wood and stuff. My fear with burning out here before is I had no water in case it got out of hand. I didn't have a water source. Well, now I hook up my hose there. At least I've got some water in case it starts getting out of hand. And I'm just going to do a small one. It's not going to be some giant bonfire of weeds. So, yeah, I can actually burn some stuff. I'm going to start with all that old wood around the barn that was the old bridge. And I'll bring that down here and we'll light that stuff on fire and see how we burn. But over 500 gallons of water. I'm halfway there with just what little rain we've had. It only rained for a couple hours. So I'm happy with how that's working, boys and girls. So now let's get under the bridge and see what we look like. All right, so let me get down a little bit lower here. I do have 2 bolts in them. All right, that's what I wanted to see. I have the little side bracings there and there. I might want to beef that up a bit. All right. I couldn't remember if I came back and added the second bolts or not, but they're in there. So that's going to hold the weight without a problem. But that's how we built our bridge. So, oh, and I lag bolted the, okay. So I got lag bolts for the railing. So that'll be easy to pull out. I thought I just screwed them down by the sides. So yeah, and also now that it's been a year, I'm going to bring out the some Thompson water seal and seal all of this, because it's had plenty of time to do its stuff. But yeah, perfect. That's what I wanted to see. Nothing is shifted. Nothing looks out of shape, man. It's a mess down here. Now, as I get the brush hog going and start creeping down in here, I'll be able to clear all this out. And this is why I have to have a bridge. This is block. At some point, this barn was raised up and a block foundation was put on here. It's not your normal bank barn. And I can't fill this full of dirt like, I'll pull myself up. It's a pretty steep hill. You know, people, bank barns, you drive across it's dirt is mounted up to the door. I can't fill that full of dirt because I don't want all that pressure against those blocks. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy I actually did the bridge right. All right. That's a good thing, as they say. Anyway, that was all today's video was about, was my bridge. And I can't believe we used those lag bolts. That's just perfect. Holy cow. Somebody was thinking ahead when they built that bridge. Be a piece of cake to take apart now. And what I'm thinking of doing, 6 feet, this is 6 feet wide. So it's plenty wide enough to run equipment across it. What I'm thinking of doing is buying 2 sheets of marine grade plywood and splitting it in the middle. This is a 16-foot long bridge. Put 2 feet on each side. Now, if this makes sense, I'll put 1 foot of the plywood on the bridge and screw it down. The other foot will hang out over the bridge a foot on each side. And that's what I'll screw the rails to. Then that will wind up giving me about 7.5 feet on the inside of the rails. More than enough to drive everything up in here and drive out. So, but like I said, that's for after we get all this stuff out of here to build the house. And I'll be able to just pull the tractor right up in here and park it. Then when I come out to use it, just back it right on out. I got to obviously clean up in here, make more, rearrange things to house the tractor now and the implements. Once I move out here full time, then the tractor and its implements are going to go down in the stalls in the bottom of the barn. They won't be stored up here. But while I'm not here, I can chain them up to these beams in here, lock them up. I got all the cameras. So I'll feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, folks, that's it, man. You're going to have to tune in tomorrow morning and see what's going on. We'll bring the tractor out. And then I'm going to spend the weekend playing with it, I'm sure. Next weekend, Gary and I are going to start building the wall sections to go with the floor sections over here. So we'll get back on to... Anyway, that's it for today. Just a quick one. I'm excited. Tomorrow's a big day for St. Bernard Acres. We're going to celebrate getting a tractor. This is Joe out here at St. Bernard Acres. I'm out, folks.